everybody, Katerina here. Well, it's Saturday morning, and Saturday morning is the breakfast date that I have with my sweetheart, and I'm going to be preparing one of his favorite cakes and my sweet papa, and it's called Torte Tropezienne. I first had this marvelous cake over 20 years ago in Saint-Tropez with my husband. We were in a beautiful bakery, and there was a picture of Brigitte Bardot beside this cake. And when I asked the chef, the pastry chef, why Brigitte Bardot's picture was there, and he said because in 1955 she was in Saint-Tropez filming a movie, God Created Woman, I believe that was the movie, and he had just created this wonderful cake, and she would go every morning and have this cake. And when she asked the pastry chef what the name of this cake was, he said he hadn't named it yet. So she said, okay, I'll name it. We're going to call it Torte Tropezienne. And that's how we have this marvelous cake. There's many steps to this cake, but believe me when I tell you, it's well worth it. And it's been modified over the years, and I'm going to give you the modified version today. Now let's get started. The base for this wonderful torte is brioche. So we're going to start by preparing the brioche. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of full fat milk. I'm going to heat it up to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it's at 115. Now I'm going to add it to my glass container. 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. And to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Okay, to a stand mixer with a dough hook, 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to give this a really good mix. Coco's watching Mommy bake. My yeast mixture has been sitting here for 10 minutes. Look how beautiful. You know it's alive when you see all that frothiness. And now I'm going to add it to my flour mixture. Okay, now I'm just going to combine the yeast mixture with the flour mixture. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of full fat milk. Okay, I'm going to add the eggs now, 2, 1 at a time. Now the eggs are cool. Okay, now I'm going to add the other egg and give this a really good mix. 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. It has to be cold because the dough right now is very hot, and if the butter is at room temperature, it will melt in the brioche, and you don't want that. So I'm going to add 1 piece at a time. Okay, the butter has been incorporated beautifully. Now I'm just going to let the machine at medium speed knead the brioche dough for me for 10 minutes. Just a little bit too sticky, just a little bit. I'm going to add a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, and that should take care of the problem. When you see it rising like this up the dough hook, you know your dough is ready. Okay, my dough is beautiful. Do not put any bench flour. You do not want any flour right now on your brioche dough. Beautiful, absolutely perfect. In a little ball, I have a lightly greased dish here. I'm going to put plastic wrap around it, and I am going to put it in my warming drawer for 2 hours. My brioche bread rose doubled in size. I had it in the warming drawer for 2 hours. Unlike before where I said do not use bench flour, this time you can use a little bit of bench flour. I'm just going to release the dough. Oh, look how beautiful. I'm deflating the dough beautifully. Oh, I love brioche dough. It feels so beautiful. This way, perfect. In a little bun, back in my bowl, and I'm going to place it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. We're going to start with the patisserie cream for the Torte Tropezienne. And the reason why we're making it now is because it has to stay in the refrigerator overnight. In a saucepan, I'm going to place 1 cup of full-fat milk. To the milk, I'm going to add the pods of a small vanilla bean. I just cut it down the center, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape all this good stuff. Now the vanilla beans I'm going to add to the milk, and I'm going to place the pod in. Here, we're just going to heat this up to medium to low heat, and now we can start with the custard. My mixing bowl, I have here a whole egg plus 1 egg yolk. 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to give this a really good mix. Earlier I placed a package of gelatin in 1/4 cup of hot water to bloom. It's ready to go now. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to be our thickening agent. Now I'm going to add 2.5 tablespoons of room temperature butter. Okay, now I'm going to temper the egg mixture. All tempering is bringing the egg mixture up to the temperature so that the eggs will not curdle. I'm just going to do it very slowly, a tablespoon at a time. Okay, now I'm going to remove the vanilla bean, and I'm going to hold on to it for the sugar water that I'm going to make. Okay, now I'm going to return the egg mixture to the pot and keep stirring until it's the thickness I like. At this point, you cannot leave your stove. Okay, you have to keep stirring and stirring. Now remember to always stir the outer part of the pot because you don't want it to get stuck or burn there. This is the thickness that I love. I love this thickness. Now I'm going to add the gelatin and 1/2 cup of mascarpone cheese. Wow, that's the bonus. Everything has combined wonderfully, beautiful. Now I'm going to transfer this to a dish to cool. Okay. Not to form a film over my pastry cream, I'm going to place another plastic sheet over like this and in the refrigerator until tomorrow. Now my patisserie cream has been in the fridge for 24 hours. I'm just going to flop it inside. Okay, we're going to give it a nice whip and bring it right back to its creamy self. Don't worry, it will come back. Okay, now that it's been whipped up, I am going to set it aside and I'm going to prepare the whipping cream. Okay, for a patisserie cream, it has to have whipped cream. So we're going to prepare the whipped cream now. Now we're ready to start with the whipping cream and then we'll combine the two. Here I have 3/4 cup of cold whipping cream. It needs to be cold. 1/3 cup of mascarpone cheese. 1/4 cup of icing sugar and a teaspoon of orange flower water. Whip everything. So first start slowly because we don't want the icing sugar to go everywhere. And then we'll just increase the speed slowly. Okay, when you see the soft peaks like this, you see how you create those, you know it's ready. Okay, now it's time to combine the two, the whipping cream to the pastry cream. Okay, now we're just going to fold it in together. We're just going to do a wonderful mix by hand. Okay, my beautiful pastry cream is ready. It's well combined. I prepared a 9-inch cake pan here. If you have a tart pan, use the tart pan. I just couldn't find mine this morning. I lined it with plastic wrap. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the pastry cream to my pan. My brioche Torte Tropezienne, the brioche part of this cake is going to be 9 inches. This is why I am laying out here the pastry cream out lovely like this, leveling it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to refrigerate it overnight. And then tomorrow I'll just take it apart. I'm just going to plastic wrap the top and in my refrigerator until tomorrow. I'm just going to place my custard filling for the brioche inside the freezer just for a few hours. It'll make it easier to remove and handle. We're going to begin with the strudel for the Tarte Tropezienne, and I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of almond flour, a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of orange flower water. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. And a 1/4 cup of very cold butter in little chunks. Now I'm just going to give this a really quick blitz. And my favorite, a 1/4 cup of pearl sugar. Now it's going to be a really quick blitz because I don't want the sugar pulverized. Perfect. That is absolutely the most perfect strudel. Now I'm going to place it on a piece of plastic wrap. I'm just going to press forward and press this way and this way. And this way. A nice little block. Press it down. In the freezer until tomorrow morning. Okay, now we're going to prepare the sugar water for our Torte Tropezienne. Do you remember the vanilla bean from yesterday? Well, here it is, and I'm going to put it in here. In this pot, I put 2 cups of purified water and the rind, just the rind of 1 orange. Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to give this a really good mix, and I'm going to let it come to a slight boil. Okay, I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of vanilla sugar and let it dissolve. Okay, the sugar has dissolved completely. Now I'm just going to turn the stove off and I'm going to allow it to cool for 10 minutes. Okay, I left the sugar syrup for 10 minutes. Now I've placed it in a container. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of orange flower water. I'm going to give it a good mix. Oh, if you could only, oh, it smells so good. I'm going to cover this up and in the refrigerator until tomorrow. Okay, so my beautiful brioche dough has doubled in size, and I had it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. I took it out of the refrigerator about half an hour ago, and now it's ready to form into my Torte Tropezienne. Okay, you can add a little bit of flour on your bench surface, and I'm just going to remove it. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's just wonderful. Look at this. I'm just going to keep rotating it. I'm going to roll this out to a 9-inch disc. Okay, I'm just going to wait a few minutes because it will shrink back. Okay, that looks about 9 inches. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I have a 9-inch springform pan. I sprayed it very little flour, just a little bit, just to ensure that the brioche will not stick. And I'm going to place the brioche dough inside the pan. Okay, I'm just going to pinch down the ends here, right down, all the way around. Okay, now that I've pinched down the sides, I'm going to make little holes. This is what's going to make the brioche dough rise evenly. Now, if you don't have this gadget, you can use the back of a skewer, and that'll do it as well. Okay, I'm going to place this in my warming drawer for 2.5 hours. If you don't have a warming drawer, keep it in a nice warm place. There are many steps, but believe me when I tell you, it is delicious. Now, I also wanted to mention that the strudel is something new. The last time we were in France, we ran into a little bakery, and instead of just egg wash and pearl sugar, they had strudel on top of the Torte Tropezienne. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do the new rendition. Okay, chopped beautifully, back in the freezer. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So my brioche for my Torte Tropezienne has been rising for 3 hours. It's absolutely beautiful. If you could only smell, I love the smell of brioche. Now here, I have 1 egg yolk and a tablespoon of cream. This is going to be the egg wash for my brioche. I love these pans. I'm going to remove. So easy. And to egg wash this. Okay, so here I have my crumble. Now I'm just going to put it over. Now, okay, in my preheated oven for 20 minutes, no longer than 20 minutes. A wonderful accompaniment for the Torte Tropezienne is strawberries. 1.5 cups of strawberries, the juice of half a lemon. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to taste it and see how I like it. Okay, another tablespoon, so that's a total of 2 tablespoons. Here I have 1.25 cups of strawberries. I'm just going to slice them. And I'm just going to add it to the sliced strawberries. Give it a nice mix. And this is going to be a beautiful accompaniment to the Torte Tropezienne. Okay, my Torte Tropezienne has cooled a little bit. Now I'm just going to cut it in the center with a serrated knife. Okay, my brioche, I cut it in half. Here's the sugar water that I prepared yesterday. Now I'm just going to place it. I'm going to do this twice. Okay, I'm going to say it. If you could only smell my kitchen. Oh, there's nothing like baked brioche. Now the sugar water that I'm doing now, this is also this is new. The original recipe that I have for Torte Tropezienne did not have the sugar water. Now I'm going to do it for a second time. This will keep the brioche extremely moist and delicious when you bite into it. Okay, I'm going to cut the portion sizes now. This is the top of the brioche cake. So I'm just going to cut across very gently with a serrated knife. Now I'm going to do 8 portions, but you can do 10. But why bother doing 10? Because people are going to go back for seconds anyway. And 8 portions, and we're done. I removed the pastry cream from the freezer a couple of hours ago, and here we are. That's why I refrigerated and then froze it. It's just it'll be so much easier to handle. So we're ready to assemble. Okay, so I put this down on my beautiful cake stand. Now I'm going to put the pastry cream. There, my pastry cream is on. Now I'm going to put the top of the cake on top, like this, piece by piece. And my Torte Tropezienne is ready. magnifique. I can't wait to get into this. Oh, delicious. Let's go upstairs and grab my honey, and we're going to enjoy this with a cup of coffee and my strawberries. There are many steps to this cake. Yes. Is it worth it? I think so. Let's see. I'm going to taste it for you. Oh. Magnifique. Absolutely delicious. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. You really must make this cake. And it's Caterina, from my home to yours. Don't forget to hit your like button. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. Au revoir. Favorite tarte Tropezienne.
Merci beaucoup, ma soeur.
Oh,
Enchanté.
enchanté. Salut. Try. Oui. We're in Paris for today.
Yeah.
No, we're in Saint-Tropez. Yeah. Well, in France. Oh my Lord. How delicious. Oh, thank you. French with a little bit of Italian.